Welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show, a podcast helping online coaches monetize their life's work and scale their businesses to create more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. Now, with over 20 years of business building, coaching, and consulting experience, here's your host, author, speaker, and creator of the Millionaire Maker Coaching Funnel, Lindsay Anderson.
Hey there, welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show. I am your host, Lindsay Anderson. Now, this episode is going to be very essential for you to listen to because I'm going to be covering the top 3 things that you need to be focused on going into 2024, ready to really scale that online business and utilizing all of your marketing power to have the biggest results in your online business. Now, the 3 things that I'm going to be covering today just so happen to be the exact same 3 things that I have spent the last 9 months implementing in order to get ready for the release of The Trust on Netflix. This was a reality show that I was featured in on Netflix, and I found it to be really such a great experience in so many ways, but specifically for business. My 20 years of experience is utilizing digital marketing to make more online sales. This includes deep knowledge of search engine optimization, paid ads, website design, email marketing, funnel building, email marketing, everything you could possibly imagine. I've spent the last 20 years not only implementing myself and for my business, I've coached and created and sold very successful courses based on this experience. And I also have unique experience because I also offer an agency where we do done for you work and we do fractional CMO and COO services. And this broad experience from coaching to doing it for people and really seeing the back ends of many multi-million dollar brands online has allowed me to have a really unique experience to take knowing that I was going to be showing up on the trust, that this was a really big stage and I was about to get tons of traffic to my website and my social media accounts. I had 9 months to actually implement a plan, which is longer than most marketing people want to take. I was able to take my time and craft a strategy that I was very confident would bring me into 2024 and beyond and take my business to the next level. And these are the 3 things that are essential for not only me going into Netflix, but for you and where my clients are currently focused on. It comes down to 3 things. Now, I'm going to share with you those 3 things. That's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. But before that, I'm very excited to announce the Unlaunch Method Workshop. We're coming back hot at you in February. Head over to the Unlaunch Method Workshop. In this workshop, if you are looking to utilize organic social media to make more sales in your business, to sell more products and services in your business, you have to run and not walk to the Unlaunch Method. The Unlaunch Method, I give this workshop a couple of times a year. It's a 5-day workshop where I share with you my exact system about how to create organic social media traffic that will actually buy from you. Now, in the Unlaunch Method, we cover 3 major points. Number 1, what to post on social media in order to actually attract those right fit clients. Number 2, we cover how to get those individuals off of social media and buying your products and services. Most people just focus on a big following on social media. Spoiler alert, a big following does not equal sales. That's why we cover number 2, how to get these individuals off of social and into your programs and services. We want them to be buying stuff from you. And then finally, number 3, sales. The Unlaunch Method Workshop focuses heavily on sales because when it comes to scaling your online business, sales is where you're going to find profitability. That is where you're going to perfect everything you are doing. And the deeper your knowledge of sales and sales psychology is, the more profitable and successful your online business will be. So I cover those 3 points in the Unlaunch Method Workshop. I hope you will join us. All you need to do is go to theunlaunchmethod.com, get signed up, time block on your calendar, and I'll see you there. And I will teach you my exact system. So there you have it. So let's dive in with the 3 top things you need to be focused on in 2024 and beyond. Number one is personal branding. Now, when I got home from shooting the show back in March of 2024, I wanted to do a branding refresh. I have a real serious deep knowledge of my customer, how they speak. My 20 years of experience allows me to really know them. And here's what you need to know about personal branding and looking at your message is that the more customers you serve and the more experience you get, you are always going to be going through this rebranding, or as we call it in the Content That Converts program, re-niching process. You will never be done niching. You will always be growing and altering and swaying and flowing as you deeper understand your clients and you're tightening up that marketing and sales process. So immediately when I got home from shooting, it was time to go out and shoot more photos that better reflected those individuals that I wanted to attract and what I wanted my brand values to be. We updated the website with a real clear focus on we're having a general audience kind of traffic coming into the website. Like these aren't people that are small business owners like they always were before. Like these are people who just saw me on the show and were interested and were coming to the website. So how do we want to serve them? Is there a way there that we can capture that traffic and still make money even though my products and my services are like for small business owners? So these were some considerations as we looked at the website. And then finally, I made sure to get the Millionaire Maker Show up and running. Building your personal brand in 2024 and beyond, you have to have a podcast. This is your platform where people can go and listen. We are also really heavily diving into having a visual podcast. You see them all the time, these amazing podcast rooms, these shorts that are cut up from a podcast and published online. Having a visual podcast going into 2024 is just going to put you heads and tails above everybody else. Remember, it is extremely competitive out there. We got not only everybody wants to start an online business because they're all quitting their corporate America careers, right? Number two, the job market, nobody wants to go back to work. Everybody wants to do their own thing. And I believe that is where they're headed. Number two, AI. AI is changing the game when it comes to marketing and showing your authenticity and who you really are online. Like a podcast is going to do that. And again, as I said, chopping that up into little bits, make a perfect short, because short form media is where it's at. You have to learn how to get good at that, and killing two birds with one stone with the podcast and the visual podcast, it just makes sense. And that's how you're going to attract higher quality clientele. Not only that, having a podcast really will help you in relationship building. So I knew I was going to meet some people along the way that I wanted to have a follow-up conversation with. It's going to be really hard to reach out to them and say, hey, can we have a talk? Like, can we talk on the phone, or can I pick your brain? Like, we don't want to be doing that to people. And so when you have a podcast, it is the perfect focal point for relationships to actually start being built and for you to have a reason to talk to someone. And so number one, of course, a podcast is just good marketing. That's where you're going to get your highest quality clients. Podcasting is essential, but the secondary benefit, or as important as the first, is going to be those relationships and a reason to talk. This includes for your customers, for other people in your space, anybody you want to get to know. The podcast is a pretty great reason why we should talk. So personal branding is number one. Number two, organic social media. If you are not focused on organic social media and you're not taking it seriously and you're not doing short form videos, you're going to be in trouble, because all of your competitors are online. They are doing this. All consumers are eventually going to get online, and organic social media is where it's at. It is free. There is no reason for you not to do it and to build an audience and a community of people online. So stop with all of the other marketing you're doing if you're not taking organic social media seriously, because all of the other marketing you do, whether it be a podcast or a book or paid ads, everything will go 10 times better with a focus in organic social media. So that is one reason why I'm hosting the Unlaunch Method workshop. go to theunlaunchmethod.com. I will show you how to make this work. It is essential that you're out there. If you're serious as a business owner, you're ready to scale, you can't do it without organic social media. I show you how in the Unlaunch Method workshop. So what do I recommend with organic social media? Here's what I know is that content is king, and amount and quantity of content, because the consumer is constantly on their phone watching you. And if they're not watching you, they're watching and getting closer with someone else. So the more, the better. Of course, there's a quality concern, but the more of you that's out there with different messages and different hooks, meeting people, in their different moods as they scroll, the better. So what I did when I got home is we started doubling our production on organic social media. I was already very good at Facebook. I had a strong community on Facebook and Instagram. I was just starting to build my TikTok, and we doubled down on all of that. We needed more content. And so we had this process of really trying to mass produce content, because content is king, because I knew as people came in from Netflix, they needed stuff to consume and I wanted to meet them where they were at. So organic social media content skyrocketed. You also have to remember, organic social media isn't necessarily linear. So even though I wasn't having all of that traffic at that time, all of this stuff is currently being fed up to them as they go deeper and deeper into my social media. So a real focus on organic social media, tightening up the brand there and making sure it had our voice. We understood that we needed to double production while keeping quality high. And then finally, the email list, okay? Email list is essential regardless of what you're selling, okay? Personality brand, you have to have an email list. You cannot depend on social media for you, that being the connection point for your audience. Number one, social media channels come and go. Look at Facebook. There's a very specific demographic on Facebook. And all of these, if they don't keep up, they could very easily age out. And what are you going to do there? Also, you don't own the platform. You don't own the message. I've had plenty of clients in my career with 911s. Facebook shut me out. Instagram shut me out. I can't get in. I can't talk to anybody. What do I do? And their business was in a real situation. Do not give your power of communication to your audience to social media. You have to build that email list. Of course, that is through a series of freebie offers and there are ways to build your email list. Please come to the Unlaunch Method workshop. We will cover it there. But run, don't walk. Build that email list. Get those people who are watching your stories and are on social media on that email list. So what did we do? I already had a very strong email list. I know that building an email list is essential. And so what did we do with the email list? I have always been building my email list. It's essential for all online business owners, but I already had an email list. So what the real strategy was really building out the funnels in the email list, more lead magnets, as well as really fleshing out those email sequences behind those lead magnets to bring them closer and closer into the sales process. We also developed a weekly email that would go out with the Millionaire Maker Show. This is the weekly email that goes out, giving people updates about what the latest episode is on the Millionaire Maker Show, what our best social media posts were that week, and a general catch up from me so I could really stay in touch with the community. So we had always done that, but we really revamped that weekly email, which comes out every single Tuesday, by the way. If you want to get on that list and hear from me once a week, all you need to do is head over to lindsaya.com. So those are the three things: personal branding, organic social media, and email list. With my 20 years of experience, knowing what I knew, ready to harness that traffic. Those are the three things I focused on. Those are the essential three things that you need to be focused on as you go into 2024 to really keep up with the market, to keep up with your competitors, and to really get that market and to really start scaling your online business. Now, For everybody who has reached out about last week's episode on how to positively handle negative social media comments, thank you so much for reaching out and for all of your support as I share my journey on the trust with my social media audience. So thank you. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that, this is really how I'm handling the massive amount of social media comments that are coming in from Netflix, how I've chosen to handle it, and kind of my obstacles around how to actually handle those comments out of anything. And as we're talking about strategy here, we're talking about marketing strategy. I certainly was aware that the amount of social media comments would increase, and certainly you would have your haters. But the amount of social media comments, as well as the range of people who didn't really like my actions on the show, all the way up through people who really loved my actions on the show, like the amount and kind I wasn't necessarily strategically ready for. Although I have learned so many lessons along the way, and I'm at a really good place with that portion of being on a worldwide stage and having people look at you. If you want to catch that, make sure you get subscribed to the podcast. Go and listen to that episode. It's my most downloaded episode to date. You don't want to miss it. It's a really unique perspective being here with my digital marketing and online business building experience, being on that national stage, and really being able to see how that affects the personality brand with all of the strategy and skill set that I have. So thank you to everybody for listening to this episode of the Millionaire Maker Show. Until next time, I am Lindsay Anderson. Have a fabulous week ahead.
Thank you for listening to the Millionaire Maker Show with master business coach and creator of the Millionaire Maker Coaching Funnel, Lindsay Anderson. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time.